So the unfortunate circumstance of me actually finally watching this was through Netflix after I'd already seen the Avengers in theaters. Now I know that sounds completely crazy, but the truth was I had seen Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and Iron Man 2, and then the Avengers was coming out, and I didn't even know about the existence of Thor and Captain America until I saw the Avengers trailers, slightly, but my friend, I asked him, hey, don't I need to watch these other two? And he was like, nah, you're good, just go see Avengers, it'd be great. Liar. He is such a liar, and I always hold that to him, but it's fine, because I did finally get around to watching Thor, so this is technically my second time seeing him, and I got to see his origin, which was pretty cool at the time, and now rewatching it some years later, I have to be honest, out of the 4 films of the MCU I've gotten to so far in this series, it's not the best. It's probably the least best out of the first 4 of the MCU, and that's actually really surprising because I held this in a lot higher regard every other time I've watched this, but just today I've seen all the cracks in it, and that's very unfortunate. I mean, I still think it's a pretty good film, like, it is pretty good, but it's got a lot of elements that just don't work. Now, there are a lot of great stuff, like Asgard is definitely the best stuff. I think Chris Hemsworth was a great casting choice. Tom Hiddleston steals the show. He's definitely the best part of the whole film. And Anthony Hopkins is great as Odin. Renee Russo as the mother as well is really great, and you know, she is also really good in the sequel. But focusing here, the whole main cast they all brought it. They were all great. You know, Coulson returns, that's fun. And Thor's friends, not his Warriors 3 and Lady Sif, who are also great. I'm talking the Earth characters of Jane, Selvig, and Darcy. They are probably the weakest part of the Thor films, and maybe the MCU. Not to say that they're unenjoyable. They are at times. All of them, even Darcy, which I know is a lot of people tend to rag on her, but I think she does pretty well. As far as origins go, I think it was a great one to go with, you know, him learning humiliation to have to earn back his worthiness to wield Mjolnir, which I've seen these films so many times now that I can pronounce Mjolnir just so fluently. Like, everybody else still struggles with it, but I just think it's solid. I really dislike the character of Thor in the beginning, which I think you're meant to, and then when we do get to the redemption of his character, I think it actually is worth it. As far as the romance goes in the film, it's not the strongest. The only chemistry I can really say that Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman have is because they are both such great actors that's probably what's pulling the strings of, yeah, I can see them as a couple, even though there are some charming moments, like when they're sitting around the fire and he gives her book back from that he got back from S.H.I.E.L.D. But other than that, there's not too many things that makes me think this relationship has been warranted. Not like you would see with Tony and Pepper or Steve and Peggy, which I'm excited to get to Captain America, and I'm going to touch on the end credit scene in a moment, but just a little closing thoughts. The music didn't hit too many good beats. There's some, like the main theme of Asgard, I do enjoy. I think it's great, but there's no real other standout themes. But you know what, the whole deal with Loki and the Frost Giants was really cool. Like I said, Loki's one of the best parts. He is the best part of the whole film. Tom Hiddleston is incredible. Like, and that's such a commemorative thing. You have to take that the villain is not only good because it's Loki, but he is even still held as the greatest villain in the MCU. Granted, we haven't seen Thanos yet. Hopefully he'll bring it and be the best. But even today, I still believe Loki is the best villain, and I'll be rewatching all these, but Loki still stands as my favorite, and that's pretty much all I have to say. It is a pretty good film. I don't think there's any real bad films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this one is the weakest of the first 4 so far. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on the end credits scene, and that is Dr. Selvig goes underground in the facility that I believe we see in the opening of the Avengers, and Nick Fury shows Selvig the Tesseract and he wants him to study it. Now this end credits scene actually sets up both films that come next. You can view it as the Tesseract, which sets up Captain America: First Avenger, because we're actually going to learn about the Tesseract and what it can do and how it got into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s possession, or with the illusion of mind control between Loki and Selvig, you can connect it as a end credit scene to the Avengers as well. I mean, really the whole scene, since you could argue it takes place right before the Avengers, it works both ways, and I think it especially is good that they have that, and I think they realize that, because when you get to the end credit scene of Captain America, it's just a trailer for the Avengers, which I'll touch on more when we review it next Monday. But I just gotta say, this was a really cool end credit scene to see. Even though I'd already seen Avengers at that point, it was really cool to see, oh wow, it's flowing right into it, as you know, as a kid when I first saw it. So it was really cool. Like I said, Thor is a pretty good film. I do think it is enjoyable for sure. I don't think it's a bad film, but it's not one of the greatest. So that would be my closing thoughts on Thor. And I literally just got done watching it because we're like 6 minutes into this, uncut, and yeah, I literally just took the DVD out of my laptop and I'm now recording. So with that being said, guys, that is the end. Come back for Captain America the First Avenger next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we continue on the road to Avengers Infinity War. It's already the end of January. We only have about 4 more months to go until Infinity War. It's very exciting. So guys, if you enjoyed the review, hit the like button, subscribe if not already. And that being said, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always.